Welcome to OLC Enterprise Demo number 2, Adding Content to Enterprise Rooms. These video demos are brought to you by OLC Support. Let's get started. First of all, before doing any development within Enterprise, read the OLC Enterprise Development Guidelines. When doing your development, you must access the interface, the admin interface, using either the latest version of Chrome or the latest version of Firefox. Do not use Internet Explorer for your development. The user website that you are developing can be accessed by any user using any current browser. Please note that as soon as your enterprise URL is delivered to you from OLC Support, your enterprise site is live. There is no test system. So if you go into the site and you start placing holds and renewing materials and updating your PIN on your account, that will be updated on the live database. The only way that any patron will be able to access your enterprise site is if you put a link on your website or you hand out the URL to the enterprise site to all of your patrons. Otherwise, it's not likely that they will be able to find it. So while you're developing your site, you can be fairly sure that it's going to be secure and it's not going to be accessed by people that you don't want it. When you're developing your site, you'll probably also want to test it as you're developing. You must use two different browsers if you're going to do that. Use one browser just for the development and a separate browser for testing. You cannot test and develop using the same browser at the same time. It will not work. There's a bug within Enterprise that will give you some very strange results if you do that. So the first thing you'll want to do is to log in to the Enterprise admin interface. I'm going to be using Google Chrome for the admin interface, and I'll be using Firefox for the testing of the website that I developed. Everyone should have their own login to their own enterprise site. It'll include a username and a password. Once you're logged into the admin interface, all of the content, or the vast majority of the content, will be added through the Manage Rooms tool. So let's go directly into Manage Rooms. There you'll see a list of all of your profiles. Most libraries will only have one profile. Your profile is your site. Let me click on my demo profile. And the first thing I see is a home page. I have a listing here for my home page and a number of tools that are available to me. The tools here are the View and Edit Content tool, which is the magnifying glass, the Edit Room tool, which allows you to simply go in and change a few of the parameters of the room, and a number of other tools that, for the most part, you won't use, but if you're interested in what they do, take a look at the advanced administrative video that will be available soon. Most of our content will be added through the View and Edit Content tool. Let's click on that. Then we come up with our enterprise home page. Your home page will look similar to this, in that it'll have a logo at the top, a number of links in the banner as well, It'll have usually 2 or 3 columns. This layout has 2 columns, a small column on the left and a larger column on the right. If your layout has 3 columns, you'll have a small column on the left and right and a larger column in the center. This layout also happens to have a book list in the middle. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the book list, because really what I want is I want a specific design. But let me just quickly talk about design. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But what you want to shoot for in your design is a common look and feel from room to room, to keep your site consistent, to make it easily navigable by patrons, and so that patrons don't get confused. Try to have your site be consistent with a consistent color scheme and consistent layout from page to page, room to room. Also, you want to have an idea of what your hierarchy of your rooms are, which rooms will link to which other rooms, which rooms will be below other rooms, which will be the child rooms, which will be the parent rooms. To do that, if you just roughly sketch out a site map, just on a piece of paper, how you want your site laid out, that will aid you when it comes to actually developing your site. I'm going to start modifying the content here. The first thing I'm going to do here is to, in my design, I really just want it to have a home page that has a picture of the library on it, some events, and it shows the library hours. And I'll also have a sub-page for new books and a separate sub-page for kids stuff. Let's just quickly go over to Firefox, and we'll see what the site looks like. From the user interface. Here's the user interface in Firefox. It looks a little bit different, but this is what the end user, the patron, will see. And the first thing I want to do is I want to remove this book list and put it on a separate page. So let's go back to Google Chrome. And in fact, book lists are handled a little bit differently, so I'll have to go into, just close that window and go into edit the room. I'm just going to click on the pencil and paper icon, and here it shows my book lists. I want to remove that book list from that room. Click OK. Now, in order to update the cache on the server, I have to click on Refresh Cache. And when I get the Done message, I can go over to Firefox, and I can refresh my local cache in Firefox, and I can see that the book list has now been removed. Every time that